Continuing on with word problems. Two mechanics worked on a car. The first mechanic worked for 20 hours and the second mechanic worked for 5 hours. Together, they charged a total of $20.50. What was the rate charged per hour by each mechanic if the sum of the two rates was $1.55 per hour? And there's a question for what is the first mechanic and what is the second mechanic. So, what we don't know right now, so I read the problem. What we don't know right now is the rate of the first mechanic and the rate of the second mechanic. So here's a step. I'm gonna let X equal to the rate of the first mechanic, and I'm gonna let Y equal to the rate of the second mechanic. That's how much they charge per hour. When I say rate, that means how much they charge per hour. Next, I'm gonna create an equation. So I'm going to reread this problem and create two equations with two unknowns. The first mechanic worked for 20 hours and the second mechanic worked for 5 hours. Together they charge a total of $20.50. So here in the first two sentences here, I can create an equation. So if the first mechanic worked for 20 hours, how much money did he make? Well, he made 20 hours times how much he charged per hour, the rate, right? So 20 times X is how much the first mechanic made from this job. Plus, the second mechanic worked for 5 hours. Well, how much did he charge per hour? He charged Y. So 5 times Y will tell you how much he made. So together they charge a total. So this is how much the first mechanic made, how much the second mechanic made in 5 hours and 20 hours. Together they made $2,050. The last equation, what was the rate charged per hour by each mechanic if the sum of the two rates was $155 per hour? So if I added the two rates together, it's $155 per hour. Well, the sum means adding. So the sum of the first guy and the sum of the second guy hit their rates. So that's going to give me a total of $155. So I'm done reading the problem now, and I have two equations and two unknowns. So now I could use the method of substitution or the method of elimination. I personally like the method of elimination better because these are already lined up. So I'm going to use the method of elimination, and I'm going to think to myself, let's get rid of the Y. So I just say get rid of Y. So there's my thought bubble. And I want them to be opposites of each other. So I want 5Y and negative 5Y. So that's what I'm thinking in my head. I want them to be opposites of each other. Well, how do I make this into a negative 5Y? Then I have to multiply this bottom by negative 5, right? I need to multiply this by negative 5. So the top part stays the same. 20x plus 5y equals to 2050. The bottom part I multiply by negative 5. Whatever you do one side, you got to do to both sides. So I get negative 5x minus 5y is equal to, what is 155 times negative 5? No shame in the game of using a calculator. I get negative 775. Okay, so now they're opposites of each other. When I add them, I get 0. I add these two, I get 15x equals to 2050 minus 775. I end up getting 1275. I want to solve for x, so I divide by the coefficient. The coefficient is the number that's stuck to the x, so which is the number 15. 15 divided by 15 is just 1. So I get x is equal to 1275 divided by 15. I'm going through this a little bit fast. Is 85. If it's too fast for you, feel free to slow it down. So here I find out that x is 85. And what does x represent? It represents the rate of the first mechanic. So it's $85 per hour. So we make sure we answer the question in a way that that makes sense. So it's not just 85, it's a word problem, it's $85 per hour. The second guy, so what is the second guy? The second guy is y, so now we need to solve for y. So if we want to find y, what do? I just plug into either one of these equations. It doesn't matter which one. I'll substitute it into the second equation. It's a little bit easier. I have x plus y is equal to 155. I know that x is 85, so I have 85 plus y is equal to 155. Subtract 85 on both sides. So I end up getting that y is equal to $70 per hour. So that's how much the second guy charged for the job. And again, you can always check your answer by plugging it in. Does 85 plus 70 equal to 155? It sure does. If I want to check my answer, if the first guy worked for 20 hours and he charged $85 an hour, how much money did the first guy make? Well, 20 times 85, the first guy made $1,700. So this first guy here made $1,700. The second guy charged worked 5 hours, and he worked for $70 an hour. So 5 times 70 is $350. So the second guy made $350. When I add them all up together, do I get $2,050? $1,700 plus $350 is indeed $2,050.